Hi, everybody. We'll find some music to get going. Um, it's for spacing off. Okay, here we go. Sure. Wait, no, this is not what. Okay. One sec. Okay, so I need to get this working, and then we'll be able to write some assembly code for the NES, which I try to get working for like 2 weeks. And hopefully, we'll be able to get it today. Um, sure. Okay, that's about what I'm looking for. Okay, so okay, so this is my emulator. I need to figure out how to get this working so I can compile this. Okay, so CA65 is here. Target, I think. Wait, how do I... That's not the window I wanted. That's how to install CC65, which I need to get this code working. How was I? This is pretty good music. Yeah. This, so that I need this GitHub repo. I'll watch this video off stream. In theory, it'll get me started. Which I already downloaded. Okay, download CC65. Okay, so path to CC65 /bin. Okay, so. So here we go. Okay, CDC. Program itself in okay, right, so file, save that. Okay, so file, open. Fucking hate Calibri, why do I... Cart.NES. Okay. Okay, that didn't work because I was typing the wrong thing. Okay, so I need this. Final save, and then run this again. No. I guess I'm gonna have to just watch the video.
The Nintendo Entertainment System is beginning with NES architecture. Here's a list of what we need in order to write, compile, run, and debug our program. We first need something to write our program with. Our assembly code is just plain text, usually ending with a .s or .asm extension. So Notepad, Sublime Text, or anything else will do just fine. I'm going to be using Notepad++ because I can define my own language with custom colors. I'm going to be using an adapted version of the 6502 language.
I've already done that.
And both.
Okay, so
Us to visualize the data like it will appear on screen in the NES. More on how to use this program later. Then, once we eventually write out our assembly code in a file, we'll need to compile it into an NES program. One of the most popular compilers for many 6502 machines is CC65, which at its core is a C compiler. But because we're writing an assembly code already,
I've already got that.
where the code would be compiled into assembly language. What we can do is use the assembler to assemble our assembly file and turn it into machine code, very low-level CPU instructions, which is output in an object file. Then we can take the linker and turn our object file into our final .NES file, which we can then run using an emulator. FCEUX is the industry standard NES emulator. It can do essentially anything and everything you want an emulator to do, from playing in slow motion to recording your game to giving you a live look into the memory of
Sorry, my phone was going off, so I set a timer. Now let's compress myself back into this chair.
the machine itself. All these resources can be found linked down below. With everything downloaded, I'm going to move CC65 into a new folder. In this case, I'm putting it into an empty D drive. Then I'm going to create a new folder.
Okay, so I have a D drive, but it's not empty.
They're called program as well. Now that the proper environment is set, let's understand what we need in our assembly file, our virtual game cartridge. Let's create a new file and call it cart.s. This virtual game cartridge is broken into 5 segments.
So this is gonna, let's see. I open this with Notepad++. So he's gonna explain how to type all this. And I've already watched this video. So, like, I basically understand what this does. Although it does look a little mysterious, having it all here at once. But basically, setup. More setup. Just basically setting all the right modes, getting rid of the memory. Yeah, there's a lot of setup for the NES, but this basically does all of it. In theory, we should be able to compile this with CC65, which I've not been able to do yet.
The 0 page, So now that we can get the file running, let's set it up like a proper, very long paths written out here, just as long as they point to the right file. rom.character. This tells our assembler to include a binary file called rom.character.
Yep, which I
Now,
have
it would be
for
really
here.
boring to use a blank character ROM file, so I'm going to use this 8K of ROM I created earlier, and I'm going to copy that into our program folder. You can create a new file if you want using YYCHR, or just use mine here. Just make sure that it is exactly 8K big. So now let's do a test compile to make sure we've done everything right so far. I'm actually going to create a batch script for this command, because it really is quite a mouthful.
What about that? Yep.
What we're doing here is using CC65 to first assemble our file, and then take the resulting output, the object file, and then use the linker to create our final output and NES file. So hopefully you understand the commands I've written out here.
Okay, so... No, that's not it. Okay, I'm gonna just edit with... Okay, so... Program... Wait. Okay, so... Let's try that. So... Hopefully this works. File... File, save. Nope. Oh, nope, we got a cart.o, so something's happening. Cart.o, okay. It's gonna drop in the C drive, did it? Nope. Okay, so NES guide main, NES guide main. Cart.o, so. Okay, so this works. NES guide main cart.s into a cart.o, cart.o, and that target. Cart.o, right? File save. Okay, so we're getting close. So this one wants to be this. Okay, file save. It should be able to open .o. Oh, okay, cart.o. My oh, actually, docs. Okay, good. I didn't miss any messages. This is okay. So okay, we CD into the C drive. CD into the C drive. And then, oh gosh, I should. Okay, CD into the C drive. So we get an O file. Okay, nothing interesting happened. Okay, 13. Okay. This guy. This is why I liked working in 8-Bit Workshop. It just goes. But 8-Bit Workshop doesn't have a good enough documentation for assembly, and its C implementation makes me crazy. So... Is there a way to... Okay, let's... Okay. Tools... I remember there someone saying... So you could switch compilers. Gosh. Because, like, if I'm stuck with DASM, then documentation doesn't exist. Unmaintained. Okay. What even is this? $6502. Nope, that's not what I want. There we go. Okay, here's the preset for the tool I'm using. Okay, so I'm gonna have to just figure this out.
I am only.
As long as this. This is 102. Pac-Man World, okay.
Stepping out of the folder so that it is a bit more readable, but of course you could have very long paths written out here, just as long as they point to the right file.
Oh, wait, this is LD. This is LD65 for some reason. Okay, actually, let's try that. That didn't do anything. Okay. LD65. Okay. What happens if I just... Nope. Okay. So... CD... C:// and I know we're in C. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Let's try that. Slash in slash CA65 in slash CA65. Let me put this on the main screen. And let's just make sure CA65 actually exists. There it is. Great. And then we do take off the C here. And then slash cart.s minus O and then this same thing, cart dot O minus T NES, and new line And then this cart.o. Minus O program cart NES minus T NES CD so hopefully that's actually correct. Let's file save that. Okay, so that almost worked. What did I miss? Program cart. Oh, okay. .NES. File save. Nope. Nope. It is still working, but it's not working all the way. So cart.s minus O. Cart.o minus T NES. Bin LD65 program.o minus O. Oh, let's see. Try that. Maybe that'll work. And then we got FCEUX right here. Gaming! Oh gosh, gaming. Oh, that took almost half an hour. Okay, but it does work. It does work. If I... Okay. Cool. So... Let's... Wait, no, I don't want to... Oh, yeah, okay, let's keep that open. Let's clean up a little bit. Okay, so here's my code that just... I don't know how to do multi-file programs. There's probably an include thing here. Oh, well, actually. Right. Okay. Okay, so... At this point, we can probably follow a tutorial. I'm not feeling confident enough to write my own original code right now. So we'll just... Oh, gosh. Why are you like this, OBS? There we go. Ba-bum. Controller reading. Okay. Um. Okay. Nest Dog. This is all in C. Okay. This is kind of a cool setup, honestly. Let me just.
Hello, we're back in episode 47. I said we'd be talking about being
47. Alright. Good for that guy. Does this have source code? Okay, here we go. Here's Nestpong. Okay, Nerdy Nights. And I know it's episode 7 that I'm looking for. Okay, open. Right, I need to. Okay, extract all. Okay, but this is using a different. Wait, let me. NES and. Okay, Nerdy Nights is using a different assembler than I am, which does this code work? It feels like it would be a pain in the ass to test it. To test whether it worked or not. I mean, why is this? Why are these two highlighted differently? Can I? Wait, what language is this one using? Okay, language. Try. Okay, so syntax highlighting. Interesting looking game. Okay. Okay, let me just see if there's other Inkbox videos I can follow. There's too many tools. Like, it's just like there's 50 tools and five actual programs using them. So this is 20 October 22. Episode 1.
Hello, welcome to the Zero Page series.
Output the object file, and then use the linker to
So that is the only one they have.
do a test.
Okay. Everything is for C. Okay. Wow, this stream's only been going for 38 minutes. I'm already just exhausted. Okay, so let's... Okay, so I got 300 lines of code here. Don't need this one. Okay, so let's just copy paste this and see what happens. Got nothing better. Okay, and then we need to go back to the folder. Oh my gosh. C or about that. We should see different behavior and we, come on. Why are you like this? Nope, it's exactly the fucking same. Okay, great. Cause this is not even in the right... Cart.s... Wait, no, the cart.s is different. No, I don't want to torrent. Oh my god, what the fuck just happened? Properties. Change. More apps. Actually, I don't even know where FCEUX is. Okay, it's the. This is exactly what I can say. Okay, so why did changing the entire source code? Oh, did I not save it? File, save. There we go. Okay, so we can get rid of these. Okay, so that's file. Yep, that's the same. How does changing the code not change the game? Did it error out or something? Let me get you guys. Okay, what happens if I compile that now? Okay, same idea. All right. So what happens if I just make this FF? No visible change. Oh, straight dots. Okay, so file, save. Right. Okay, finally, we got some change in the. Okay, we got some change. So this code is compiling. Oh gosh. Ugh. This was not everything I needed to know about writing assembly in C. I just want an example program. Oh, don't want Discord. Go away, Discord. Sure, we can listen to some wet music. Okay, that's a little loud. Let's just down. Okay, so my development environment is set up correctly. I wish there was a way to automatically run the thing once I've compiled it, but just like one extra click, it's not that big a deal. Oh gosh. One sec, I'm gonna. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's just such a pain in the ass to find documentation that like agrees with, because this is written in. Let me see. Uses okay. It does use CC65, but it doesn't work when I. I didn't actually read the source code. It's possible there's something obvious that breaks. Okay, so neither of these would work. I'd have to... Okay, so there's obvious stuff that just wouldn't work. Okay, let's try hollowness. What? Do you have a... This is in C, okay. Okay, so... If I copy paste this in, Control V, file, save, and then I compile and run. Okay, so that does work. Great. And if I Control Z, it should, okay, Control Shift Z, yep. Okay, so the include files were the problem earlier. Okay, that's the same as the previous. And we got some includes here. Adapted for Nerdy Nights. Okay, so... U.INC. I don't even know what that does. Oh, it's still too loud. Music's still too loud on the stream end. Gosh. Controller input. Okay, so we can steal part of this. Okay, so this is all start stuff. Am I? Okay, so if I... Okay, so file... Compile... Okay, so it still works. Right now I want to exit out of that. Right, it didn't stop. And wait, actually, let me make sure it actually did. Okay, so it did, yeah. So that did actually change the file. Okay, so we got the NMI. Up, left, down, right, done. Okay, great. So that's the non-maskable interrupt. Load buttons. Buttons is defined. Cool. So we can. Okay, no, that should be in. Okay, so this is in the. Okay, there's no zero page here. Zero page. Okay, great. So. Oh, yeah, I can't control X. This is a static document. Okay. Control C. Let's control X again. Guess this goes above the header. Controllers.inc. What does controllers.inc even do? Okay. Right, just okay, so it uses controllers to think. So let's just copy that. So I don't have to worry about the include files. So put that down here, I guess. Or wait, actually. Let me just take controller input again. Okay, I've got a VS code I don't need, a readme. Oh, okay. Okay, I really want to get this working, so I don't need. Okay, so how do I partially clone if do I have to download the whole thing? I guess it's all in folders, so it should be pretty easy to navigate. Dev. Okay, go. Download zip. Control. Okay, so. So we can actually just this should work. Just take this, copy it in here, right, and then run this. Okay. Um... I don't know how to do the includes. And I guess I'd have to just... And this person using a makefile rather than like a bat script. I guess my best bet is just to read this code and understand it. This is one of those things where, like, I understand it, but only half. And so it's simultaneously, like, boring and difficult. Like, all the stuff I already understand, it's just like, oh yeah, obviously. And then there's also stuff I don't understand, but I have to read through a bunch of stuff that I do understand to get to there. Okay, so... Okay, and all... Okay, so this is all super repetitive. Oh shit, it's just a whole fucking... Okay, so... The structure of this code is basically every possible... It looks like there's just 16... I guess they're calling them procedures. Okay. Go ahead and include the graphics. Oh gosh, I'm... Okay, so let's look at one of these. Update name table. Okay, so this is just... Wait, so the graphics .char. Can I open that with YYCHR? Fractal. Is this one? I'm sure cute. File, open. Alright. go. Yep. So it's basically. I'll have to look at Illustrator and select. So yeah, basically it's just got two versions of everything. One for pressed and one for unpressed. I guess you could just do that with. Oh, looks like it didn't specify a palette, so we're getting this weird palette. And it's getting yeah, this is getting mostly reused. It's interesting that they're wasting all this, like, character ROM space rather than, just using the palette to change between these otherwise identical sprites. Like, you just make another palette and you can... Oh, okay, so it's in this side that you actually edit them. Okay, and then, wait, 32 and 33, so... Pressing the A button. Okay, so each of these are hex 1, 2, 3. Okay, so is this in hex or in binary? Okay, 00, 2020. Okay. Okay, so that's in I think it is in hex. And it just happens to be in lines such that you don't actually, because it's aligned on 8s, so you don't actually see the hexadecimal parts. Let's just go 8 by 8 so we can. Huh. Okay, so 32. Okay, so I think this might be laying out the. I'm fully understand this. Update name table. Okay, so for pressing the start button. Okay, releasing the start button. Got it. If you write 214F. Okay, we're loading palette, reloading, okay, and then okay, so only like this part is like real code, and everything else is just repeated like 100 million times after this. And then the buttons are stored in controllers.inc. Okay, so what's actually happening here? If up is pressed, then we're okay. Button up, and that's an immediate version of it, so it's just reading it as the value. Load released buttons. Jump. Okay. Okay, so if up is pressed, how does that all work? Where's is up pressed? This button, shift counter. Oh wait, no, that's defined. That's a separate team. Okay. Wait, what do you mean you can branch of equal is up pressed? And how does and work? So to your reference. So zero flag if A equals 0. Okay, so we're backing if is up released, branch if equal subroutine up pressed. Okay, load buttons old. Oh, that's janky. Because these two form a quote. So we're putting buttons in A. We're ANDing A with button up. And if branch of equal. Oh, I guess branch of equal would affect the zero flag, right? But if the zero flag is set. So if you AND them together. So if you add them together and they're identical, right? That's how that works. Set of a equals 0. Okay, so if it's branch if equal means that if nothing, if there's no button pressed, it jumps to is up released, which is here. Oh, okay. So it's literally just okay. So we're basically checking every possible button, and then every possible button has its own like subroutine for what to do if it is pressed. I mean, this is probably really bad code. I mean, like, it does what it's supposed to, but if you were going to ship a game like this on real hardware during this era, this seems incredibly wasteful. Set sprite table. Okay, what is sprite table? Oh, not table tile. Okay, so I don't actually know where that function code comes from. Sets for is that a subroutine? It's gotta be, right? Okay, so it's being called a bunch here. Or is it in PPU.inc? Okay, so it is a macro. Got it. Sprite number. Okay, sprite and style number. Okay, so that's just a fast and easy way to change a bunch of tile data. Sorry, I'm gonna end stream early and take a nap. Just make my head spin.